everyone, and welcome to Hearing Your Voice with Chandra, where your voice is heard. Thank you all for tuning in with us today. We have a very special voice coming your way. Our guest is very passionate about helping people to become physically, mentally, and spiritually fit. So I am excited to hear what she has to say to us today. So no more waiting. Please join me as we welcome to the show, Kimberly Clayton. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say to us today. All right, but before we dive in, if you could just tell our viewers a little bit about who you are and a little bit about your background.
Okay, will do. So my name is Kimberly Clayton. They call me Coach Kim. I was originally born from Mobile, Alabama, here in Mobile, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the military, came back, and was in the school system for a while. While I was there, God began to tell me that it was time for me to start here.
Okay.
And so I am a mother, 4 children. I love what I do as a mother,
Mm-hmm.
and love people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dive in. So tell us, what inspired you to be a fitness trainer?
When I was here in Mobile, I went to the doctor,
Mm-hmm.
and the doctor mentioned to me about they did lab works and noticed that I was tested for be a pre-diabetic. So that inspired me to not just be in the fitness, but also to start off getting myself together.
Yes.
So I started out, began to change the way I was eating. Even though I was petite, I still was eating wrong.
Okay.
And so I began to change the way I was eating, began to work out more. And I loved working out anyway, but I began to be more intentional about it. And so that's what started me on this journey here.
Awesome.
I started with myself.
Started with yourself.
Yes.
And that's basically like how it starts with
Absolutely.
yourself.
Yes.
All right. So just talk to us about the clients that you typically work with. And do you see that most of those clients have some of the same challenges?
Well, yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my clients, I work with all different types of women and men as
Okay.
well. Some of my clients I've worked with and still working with. Some of them are challenged physically in their physical bodies, health-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Some challenged mentally. Some may be having, I deal with some that on walkers, where they may be paralyzed on a certain side. So we work with mobility and being more flexible and
Awesome.
building the spiritual aspect as well. I deal with some people that not necessarily struggle with working out, but struggle with just starting in the mental barrier that comes with that. So everyone has their different challenges,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it all really falls in the same thing, to the same thing that's just started up. So
Just getting started.
just getting started.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do you do to motivate people? Or do you find that some of them already motivated when they come, or do you have to kind of get people motivated to come out and become physically fit?
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So both I have some people, because one thing about this fitness lifestyle or health journey is that we all have a different journey. We all have a different, everyone, we're on the same journey, but we have different way of doing things. So for instance, I have one person that may come in and she is on fire, she's excited about it, and she's ready to take off. And I may have this other person that may be scared. And maybe, it's a fear of what if, or, they insecurity, having insecurities. And so I deal with both. And how do I motivate them is, I don't let them quit, not on my watch. I always tell them, not on my watch. Not on my watch. So if they come in, as long as they follow my regimen, I stay connected with them. I send out text messages. I call, I do one-on-ones with them, and not just with working out one-on-ones. I do what's called spiritual outpour. Okay. So that's where I call them, or we can do FaceTime, and I pour into them. Awesome. I take that time to pour into them and build them up and let them know that they can do it.
Awesome. So what kind of misconceptions do people have about being fit, and how do you handle that?
some people with misconceptions, some people think like, okay, well, I can just work out and I can still eat whatever I want to eat, like I did. Like I did.
Yes.
So that was one of my things. I thought because I was petite that I could still eat what I wanted to eat, but I went to the doctor and he told me I was pre-diabetic. That got my attention.
Yeah.
That was my wake-up call for me. And so that's one of the misconceptions about fitness and being fit, is that I can just work out, but I can still drink Coca-Colas. I can still eat any time of the night. Oh, that was me. I could, yes. So it's always true. It's okay. And so just doing, being able to be fit and know that it takes more than just working out.
Okay.
That's one of the misconceptions. You have to also change the way that you're eating. You can't just work out and still have the old mindset. We have to change the way, renew our mindset. And that's one thing that we work on here as you start this journey. Okay,
so basically in a nutshell, what does being fit look like? And is it just physically, or like you're saying, does it go hand in hand with being mentally fit, spiritually healthy? Like, how does all of that work?
I know this question. That's great. So with the being fit, it don't tie into just being fit in your body, because we can be physically fit and we can be up to par, but we're going through in our minds. We carrying things, and we're not able. We come in here, and a lot of us sometimes we wear what's called a mask, and we seem like we have everything together, but then we carry this unnecessary weight. So there's two types of weight that I deal with here. I deal with the natural weight that we carry in our body, as well as that spiritual weight that we sometimes hold on to. So I attack both of them. And so so that's one thing that we work on here.
Do you find that most people are open, to allow you to work on like whatever area that they're having problems with, if it's mental, physically, or what? Some
people, God leads me on how to handle everyone, because everyone is different. I deal with a lot of my clients that attend here at S.O.A.R Fitness, and everybody have their own different personalities. Everybody have their own place that they're in right there. And so God leads me on how to approach and how to handle and how to deal with them on that level.
Like an individual level. Everybody.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have those individual fitness goals with everyone?
Yes. So we have, I have corporate, and I also do personal fitness goals. So for instance,
so when you say corporate, you're saying like what everybody does?
Let's say for instance, we have 1 week, we have for 1 month we do a fitness goal where we're renewing our mindset. We may be working on losing 2 to 5 pounds, and we may work on drinking more water. We all may, have to drink 6 to 8 bottles. That's my advanced class. They have to drink 6 to 8. And my beginners, they drink up to starting off 4 to 6.
Okay.
So again, so I work with them on their own level, and we do it. We go from there.
Awesome. So how do you measure their progress?
We do weigh-ins monthly. As far as the fit wise, just to see, if they are losing. One thing I don't so much do is so much focus on the scale, though, because sometimes that scale can discourage us. So I always tell them, I do weigh-ins monthly. I measure inches. We also have a folder that I give my people here where we do assessments. And here you'll see where on the assessment they have to do jumping jacks, just some jump squats, certain exercises.
So they can kind of measure their own progress.
They measure, yes, and so they keep this folder with them, and so so they each month we do it. The goal is for each month the numbers should increase, which is showing that you're getting better.
Okay, so it shouldn't just be staying on that same level. No. You should be moving.
Exactly, and they turn their folders in to me as well. Just so I can check and make sure that their numbers are increasing as well.
Okay. So what type of equipment do you use, and how do you talk about safety? Like, how do you incorporate that?
Okay, so that also ties into 101 as well. Some of the 101 that I do with my people. So as they're here, I'll still walk around and work with every individual because I want to make sure that, again, like you said, safety, that everyone is doing each exercise properly.
Yes.
Make sure that everybody's form is correct.
Is that a challenge?
That is not, because I love it. I love what I do. So it's not a challenge. I'm able to walk around, move around, and I also demonstrate as well. So some of the equipment that we do use, I'm just going to show a couple. That's okay. Couple of things here. We work with slam balls here, where we go up and we slam the ball. That's a great exercise. We also do jump ropes. Just name quite a few of the things that we work out here. Everybody cannot use jump rope. Some people may have a knee injury. So I do I work them on their own level. So some people may need modifications. So if they cannot use jump rope, we do something else. Also work with kettlebells. These are good with just building the upper body strength as well as your lower body strength. So these are some things that
you can use in different ways.
You can use this in different ways. I have different weights as well. But again, the size, yes. And that's just to name a few things that we have here. Plus, we have weights that we work out with as well.
Okay, well, talk to us about the nutrition. How do you include that in? And diets, if anyone needs to go on a diet, do you kind of work those things in as well?
Yes, so I do have I do offer meal plans that we do here. I do offer meal plans, and according to each person, because again, everybody's body is different, depending on what their body requires is basically how I set the calories, and I also have a group that I do. That all my people is in this one group, and they have to post their breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily. Yes, and so that's a challenge. I think that's one of the challenges for them because it's accountability.
Yeah,
and that's me holding them accountable. And they post their breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I always tell them they're not gonna post no fried chicken in there. They know they're not gonna post the ham hocks. They're not gonna post those things. So it kind of challenges them to eat right.
Are you surprised by some of the things that they post, or are most of them just staying on track on what they're supposed to be eating?
For the most part, because I don't just tell them, hey, just go post. I teach them and I let them know what they should and they should not. It's not so much a strict as well. It's not strict to the point where if you stop eating ice cream, let's say if you stop eating ice cream, there's sugar-free ice cream that you can have. Okay, if you stop eating chips, then there are certain chips that's healthy for you that you can have in a place. So one thing I teach them is to replace, if you do remove, replace it with something healthy.
That's good.
So,
most of them receive that.
They receive it. They do they have done amazing with their results because they take the working out. They come. I'll have a sign-in book where they have to come and sign in. That's the way I hold them accountable for their attendance, and they also do the nutrition part. And they put it together, and they get their results.
Okay. And if you see that they're slacking off, that's when you give them a text or call.
So they'll tell you I shoot text messages. I do phone calls. I do what's called reset as well. So that's where if I can tell or they feel like, Coach, I just need the extra push. They'll just text me the word reset, and I schedule a one-on-one consult with them. We also do what's called Power-Up Conference Call every Sunday at 8 p.m. Just to get them that extra push for the next week. Last for like 15 minutes, go over certain things, and we pray, and I just pour into them for those 15 minutes. Yes, and the last thing, we also do, the Power-Up Conference Call. We do the empowerments at the end of the month. I know that's the spiritual aspect of it where we come in and we get poured into and be able to come into the presence of God. So we also have that as well.
Awesome. Yeah. That's amazing. I know they're excited about what you're doing, and you're motivating a lot of people. What's one piece of advice that you could leave with our viewers today?
I would tell you all, if you're thinking about starting, or if you have thought about starting, one thing that stops us from starting is life sometimes. And most people, as myself, we put other people before our own selves. We try to balance life, and sometimes we struggle with balance life. It is not sometimes that we don't want to work out. It's just, how can I balance this? And so I would encourage you to prioritize your life, because if you don't put yourself first, how can you be in benefit to the people that you are taking care of or there for daily? So your health is important as well. So I would encourage you to take that first step, that one step to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and we take the one step at a time, one day at a time, and know that your results will come.
Awesome. So if there's someone out there who wants to get started with you, how can they reach you?
I can actually share out on social media, Facebook. My name is Kimberly Clayton. You can also find us on Facebook, S.O.A.R Fitness, S-O-A-R Fitness, F-I-T-N-E-S-S. Also located at 444 Azalea Road, Suite G. So if you're interested in getting started, I do offer beginner classes Mondays and Wednesdays, where you don't have to worry about just jumping on in there. We take our time and we build our way up. So also, if you may not be local, you may be out of state, guess what? You can still get started, because I also offer virtual classes as well.
That is amazing.
Yes.
So you're just reaching people all over.
Yes.
So it's just not in the building.
It's not just in the building.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. And they get those same benefits.
They get the same benefits. They still being held accountable. One of my clients, we do challenges contests like challenges. One of them, she was virtual that won. She lost the most weight in 21 days. So it's possible. A lot of people say, well, I gotta be in person. I'm like that as well, but I try to encourage everybody, don't knock virtual, because you can get results on virtual as well.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much, Kimberly. I appreciate
you.
all the information that you have shared with us today, and hopefully someone who is thinking about getting fit will go ahead and reach out to her. I have that information on my Facebook page, and if you need to contact her, also S.O.A.R Fitness you have your Facebook page for that as well.
Yes.
All right, so y'all make sure that you reach out to her and just see how she can help. So remember, that's all that we have for you today as well. But just remember, open your mouth. If you need something, open your mouth boldly. Speak the word and let your voice be heard. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We appreciate you all. You'll have a great day. Bye-bye.